Okay, this is a great question. I need to coach someone about how to think through the big picture without forgetting the details. How do I do it? That's a tough one. It's a big question, but let me give you a little bit of guidance on that. First and foremost, just know that some people's brains are really wired for big picture, while other people's brains are wired for details. So you may not end up being real satisfied at the end of the day with both parts of that equation, not because you're not a good coach, not because the other person's not a good person, but simply because their brain is oriented toward one or the other strongly. Okay? So in that case, just be patient. But I would say coaching someone through how to think through the big picture without forgetting the details is all about the questions that you ask. First and foremost, ask questions that relate to the big picture. Like say, okay, what's the big picture here? How does this fit into other decisions you're making or other things that you're doing? Those are great questions. Just ask them the right questions that lead them to that big picture. You might even ask a question like, what do you think another department or that CEO or somebody or someone might feel about this, or what might they have to say about it? And that can help your coachee get connected to different perspectives on what you're coaching toward. Then when it gets down to the details, ask different kinds of questions. You can say, and you can even use tools, you can say, okay, let's map this out. What do we need to remember on a kind of a detail level, on a day-to-day basis? If you were to make a list of steps that will get you to this outcome, what's going to go on that list? Let's talk it through together. So really, coaching someone through how to think through the big picture and the details is nothing more than asking the right kinds of questions. So I definitely encourage you to kind of think through, what questions would I ask that would lead them to the right answer and get them thinking about that big picture and then about the details. And let us know if you need some help with this. That's a really interesting question, and I think it lends itself to a lot of different situations. So good luck with that.